Morning, everybody. It's Monday, favourite day of the week, and we're back with Trade the Pool live stream trading live here with myself, Scott, and Mitch is here in the house. How you doing, Mitch?
Well, there's only one thing I gotta say. I heard there's a kitty, and it's roaring out there. So let's get to the action. All right. Good morning, traders out there. And I'm excited. I had to drop it with the kitty start, right? I mean, of course, we're going to be looking to see what's going on today. But hey, wouldn't you know it? It seems like GME is back. And I was actually watching this on Wednesday as it was setting up here just sideways, right? This pop seemed interesting. And when stocks hold support, especially after pops, just like small names too, when we get those big pops, we want to see sideways action at the top end of this. That's what gave us a little sign that there was something going on in GME. Wouldn't you know it, this morning, getting the big pop off of the Roaring Kitty mentions. What you think of that, Scott? I mean, hold on. And I got to say this in a nice little pun joke. Sit up on your seats, guys, because look what happened. This is the tweet that was put out there by Roaring Kitty, guys. So you guys check that out, guys. He just put this out there, and that's what caused GME. Just this picture alone. So you could just imagine, guys.
Crazy.
Hey, this is the world we live in, man. 30-something% on GME. We'll see what happens today. Another one on my radar because of this morning, already getting the lift. I was looking at 330 potential buy earlier. Didn't get it as I was looking through the news. But there's AMC starting to get moving here. We'll see what happens with the meme style trade today.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering why, because that's Zach Morris and now a kind of Roaring Kitty back. I know that Roaring Kitty was obviously acquitted in his case with Atlas Trading there, and Zach Morris also acquitted in his criminal case. So they're both kind of out the woods now in the, good post what you want. But let's see.
Yeah, it seems like there was today. I'm thinking there was maybe some legal kind of moments there where they couldn't talk to a certain date, and now they're past that date and they're out of the woodworks, right? So I think today's that type of day that we got to be looking all around for different types of squeeze types of plays, and these are the plays that can, let's be honest, really make or break an account. So let's just be smart today. Let's try to get after it. Try to see if we can execute on one of these fast trades, make some good green. But definitely going to be something on the radar. Of course, those days we had Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if that one's going to get the move again, right? But maybe some other names, short, kind of high short interest names. Wayfair. What was the other one? Wish. Is Wish still around? What is it? No, I don't even think it is around. No, that one already disappeared. But definitely today's that type of day where if it's like a short squeeze type of stock, like even let's say Mullen, I'm not getting in front of that thing today. This is not the day maybe to be battling too much on the short side, I feel, because I don't want to get runned over. I don't know about you, Scott, but let's say shorting GME, not up my alley today, guys.
No, I'll show you what I got on Jimmy. I mean, I'm normally always doing that, but GME is. Let me just show you. I think I just dropped out there for a second. Let me share again.
Good to see you guys out there, guys. Smash the like. We're gonna get it going here today.
Yeah, so this was kind of interesting for me because I have that kind of level where, unless it breaks out of this lower box at the bottom where they accumulate, don't matter what the stock is, that, for me, the trade's not necessarily on unless we pick up that buy side liquidity pool, and that's the best risk that I can get on a stock if I'm lucky enough to catch it at the time, before it appears on the volatility kind of radar. So that's what's the initial kicker down there at 11s. But then if we break out of here, we normally do it on volume. And we've done that back on the 3rd of May. And then now we're kind of tapping into those benchmarks. So literally just tapped into one. Now I've got two here, one from back ways yonder and one from kind of these lows coming in for the last few days. So right now we're tapping into a benchmark 2. There's one more up here at 28.30. But if we can break that 30, I mean, that could be blue sky on GME again. So I'm quite excited to see what happens to this morning.
Oh, it's definitely going to be an exciting stock, and a lot of people on the radar are going to be watching it. I mean, it's front page on just about every media that you're looking at. It's funny how that type of move, not even like a big catalyst, is just taking over the day. We'll see what happens out in the market today. Let's take a look. What we got here? We doing a little reborn coffee. Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't do the reborn, but I did the Starbucks today. So who knows? Maybe it's on the radar today. Keep an eye out, guys. What are you seeing in reborn?
Yeah, I was just seeing on the reborn. It was like tapped into this benchmark here, benchmark 2 up here, and it hasn't come back yet to sell side, but also it's not really crashing and fading off down back into the kind of $2 area. So I'm wondering if we can see a pop today to get a $4 short, bearing in mind that if it does break 430 and hold above, that we could go somewhat higher and somewhat supernova if that happens. But ideally, I'd love a pop like 70 cents in there to short reborn today. Having a look at that. There's a couple of others on there as well. TVGN again tapping into its benchmark 2 there. What did that make out of? Yeah, so that was a nice pre-market short. It was too early for me, actually. Even though I'm in London, I didn't catch this short, but it was kind of a textbook trade. So we're kind of sitting up there twice. So it's whether or not we can punch up above the most recent sell side here, which is going to be from the last swings. So yeah, it's pretty much going to be where that benchmark is, tapping at about 155. If we can get above 165 and close, then we could have more upside. If not, we'd be looking to short that if we do get a tap up into that area as well. But it's a bit quiet on the small cap. CCLD was there, but it's kind of been and gone at the moment. It's already down at resting liquidity pool where I would expect it to kind of finish the day. So we can listen to the tape on this and see if it works its way out of the 150s. But until it does, it just looks like it's done its job for the day. But we'll see what pops up on that one. But that's it for the small caps in a minute. If anyone's got anything else, throw it in and we'll take a look at it. But good morning. Yeah, great Scott. How you doing? Boogie Woogie, Tiny T, Nolly. Let's get them in there and see what we've got. We'll have a look at them for you.
All right, on the big charts, of course, the SPY overall, going to be looking to see if we start to get a new kind of breakout, continue going. I mean, definitely got hot last week. We did a little bit of a pullback and then really started getting stronger towards the end of the week. Now approaching kind of these resistance, 524, definitely pushing there. And a lot of the tech names kind of giving a nice little lift. You can see in the Qs almost pushing past. Will we get to 446? 450s. It's been definitely a quick push here. We're going to be talking about special indicators and favorite indicators coming up later today, so stick around for that. And something tells me I might be using some of this light blue line action here on my charts to let you guys know a little bit more about that. But on this week, what's on the radar? Of course, we got CPI coming on Wednesday. Don't miss that. We'll see what happens. Of course, will it shake up the market? Of course it will. And that's one thing that we got to keep an eye out for. Will inflation kind of show a little bit of a spike, or will we continue seeing the Fed on the same kind of schedule? And when will that interest rate cut come? Who knows? All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is moving in the market. I did see that there was Apple news out in the market. And then ARM also has good news out there. They're looking to kind of get into artificial intelligence chips. So if you guys like some chip news, you guys like chip type of stocks, looking for some tech names, ARM definitely going to be on the radar today. Can it get past the 114 level? It's a level I'll definitely be watching for the breakout above. It's been there in the pre-market, got to 113.71. Let's see if it gets through that 114. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I start talking about it, well, there's a little bit of a pop. Might get to 114 right here in the pre-market. So ARM definitely on the radar, guys. I did see Intel also making a move there. Can this finally get out of this downward trend that it's been lately? I mean, look at the falling off on Intel. Needs to bounce back and bounce back fast. This is nothing that I would chase for long-term kind of longs, maybe short, maybe just a day trade. We'll see what happens on Intel. All right, catching in the chat, I'm seeing some LiDARs call outs. So I see LIDR. Of course, that's AI Inc. And with this mentioned, this had a nice move on Friday, right? Nice little lift off there, past $3, has pulled back. I'm looking for a $2 hold here, maybe a nice little cut down towards like 205, $2, and then starts working its way back. That's LIDR. And of course, there's other stocks in this space like AUR that you guys can keep an eye out for, and maybe even LAZR, LiDAR, Luminar technology. And so there's a bunch of names that you can watch here. This one also had a nice run just a couple of days ago, and this was on Wednesday of last week. So maybe this can get the lift back above 2. LiDAR plays, we'll see. I mean, man, LiDAR was such a kind of favored area in the space, and we were expecting to see these stocks make a big move for EVs overall, but really hasn't caught on yet. And we'll see if it starts to catch. All right, let's keep it going, team.
Just
what you got for me?
Yeah, no, just looking at LiDAR myself here. It's what we got. We have. Yeah, so I've got that as a benchmark too. So I consider it kind of backside, but if it can work its way out of this buy side pull, it has been on the scanners today. So if it does catch some more bids at this area and we see some money flow coming in, we could have a trade on from this 220 area, get 50 cents up there to 280s, and you never know your luck. If it breaks $3, you could have some more. But yeah, that's what I've got on LIDR as well. NEO also came up. It has already tacked into it. Yeah, we had sell-side liquidity pools. It's been working sell-side liquidity pools. Did it have a benchmark? Yeah, hit a benchmark there back on May the 6th. So another potential short on NEO as well. So they both need a pop. Not too much of a pop for NEO to short. Bit more to go on LIDR. So that's it. NEO and LIDR for you.
Yeah, I'm looking right quick at Reddit, taking a peek at it just because, remember, it had earnings and it started to come down off the earnings, but look how it's right back, right? And so I'm wondering if this can start working its way back here towards the 70. So it's one to keep on the radar, especially after a day where Roaring Kitty is back, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure there's action going off in Reddit. And so who knows? Maybe that just comes into people's mentality today. And that's how it can be sometimes with these meme types of plays. It's just a lot of psychology and looking to see where the attention is moving. Attention could go maybe to some Reddit action today. Who knows? We'll find out. I know a firm was on my radar just a few days ago, and then they had earnings. They've pulled back all the way back here to the 32. We'll see if they're able to get a little bit of a bounce.
I mean, I've heard of sympathy plays in that, Mitch, but look, even Roaring Kitty, even KITT come up on the scanners this morning. It's just crazy how it works. What people would do to get in on some action.
The kit. Right? Is cat going to go up just because it's cat?
Yeah.
It's Caterpillar, man, right? Roaring Kitty, I need you to support cat, man. You gotta know the tickers, man. You gotta know the tickers. We'll be looking around. Also, news out of China, right? They were selling kind of bonds. Will this trend ever change the China trend, man? That's been a destruction in that. I used to trade BABA all the time. I haven't traded it often because it's been pretty much going nowhere, right? In like 2 or 3 years. It's like down 13%, right? After real destruction. We'll see if China can start turning things around. One way that I always like to give you guys indexes and things like this to keep an eye out for. Look at the FXI here representing China, the top 25, right? Well, look at that. Look how this is starting to peak. Look how we're getting the turn, and we're going to be talking about MACD later this week. So stick around. I'll show you guys exactly how I kind of use this. But you see that turn there. You see it start to push. FXI, who knows? Maybe we could start getting some China stocks to make a move. I know that the one thing that I will say though is be careful with the China EVs, because it did get hit with some more kind of tariffs and kind of taxes that will affect them. So they could be seeing a down hit in those types of stocks. But just to put it on the radar, it's good to see you guys out this morning. It's Monday morning. You guys know it. It's Monday, money making Mitch. Let's get after it, team. What do you guys got for me? We'll see what you got. Trader Life. Good morning. Let's get after it, team.
We've got was there some news? Looking some news out on Open API saying they're potentially going to put something out to compete with Google as a search engine alone with ChatGPT as its base. So I'm wondering whether that's going to have. Microsoft has gapped up on that. To be honest, it's gapped up. I've got it in a sell side liquidity pool, but it literally gapped up right to the top of it. So as we know, if we can break above these, it can have more legs. What you got on there, Mitch? What you got on Microsoft?
Yeah, I think this is definitely something to keep an eye out for. I've been looking at AI stocks get hot this morning, and that's just a lot on the tape out there. So keep your eyes out there. And that's also affecting Google, right, to the downside, right? So maybe it's Google to the downside, seeing that start to fall off the tape. And I mean, look at the MACD on this thing, guys. This tells me that, this is kind of a perfect timing for Google to start taking that pullback, right? Very rare times do you get that extended away from the zero line. You've gotten extended from the zero line before, right? Like, let's say up here, right? And then what came? A period of downturn, right? And then that's what we're kind of looking for here. As we get another peak here, a period of downturn, another kind of peak here, a fake out to the upside off of that earnings kind of push, right? Now we're starting to turn back. I could see us trying to maybe close the gap right here. It looks juicy. I know shorts are going to be looking at this, thinking that, hey, we can maybe come after it, maybe get it into that shadow. So this is an interesting play there itself. And if Google really starts to take a pullback, Apple's taken kind of a try to attempt to go through that 186. I'm going to look to see if later in the week, do we get some trouble and we start to come cracking back down on Apple? This is something definitely to watch. Can Apple get back above 188, or will it start to work in some of this gap space? It's definitely a setup there.
Just looking at INKT here on the small cap side of things, we've got INKT has run into benchmark number one, benchmark number two up there at 155, bogey level sitting in the middle there at 142. So let's just check out where its resting liquidity pool would be right now. So yeah, we're kind of there, aren't we? It's just it's certainly tapped into it this morning. So $1, if you're liking these dollar plays, these things do have to close above $1 and rest above $1 to stay in the Nasdaq. So there's a reason for a push up on this one, but it's whether or not we can get that money on the tape to see if we can get the bids on it to push up there back to 120s or higher.
Looking around like always, right? We're always trying to find some stuff in the mornings, and I have a pre-market watch list that I'm looking at here, and I'm finding an interesting name here. I haven't traded just about any time. ACIU. I don't know if you know this one, Scott, but look at that morning setup here. Actually pretty interesting, right? I really like the setup here. It's setting up for a nice little move. We'll see what happens. Had a couple of pushes. Can this get back above the 350, approach the 4? I haven't seen this stock move in the past, but ACIU definitely on the radar. Biotech this morning, just running through the names, and I think it's an important outlook. But man, look at GME now 2560s. Not a bad move there. If you're able to already take some profits into the open, we'll see what happens there. I'm looking around, guys, trying to run through that. There's that kit. But yeah, I love just running through stocks, and then what I do is I stop as soon as something stands out to me, right? So like CCLD, Care Cloud Inc. That's something that I know, but you can clearly see a nice little uptrend. It's holding this little peak right here as support. Can this get back up above the $2? Not a bad one. Cloud Care there. And of course, AMC on the radar. Talked about that one before. 330s already starting to make a move. And we'll see if some of these smaller cap names can really get the lift. And I'm looking around to see what else is out there. INKT, dollar stock, looking to get back above the 120, 130s. There's a lot out there. And interesting to note that 2 or 3 of these were biotechs. like always, watch out for those. All right, what's going on out there? It's good to see you guys, team. And looks like we got some new traders jumping in. So if you're new to the show, or maybe this is your first time here on Trade the Pool, hit that subscribe down below. You guys see it shining. Hit the like. You guys, this is where you guys get the trading action, completely transparent. You guys see my entries, my exits, and right here on Trade the Pool, of course. So smash the like. It's good to see you, Joshua. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. All right, what else we got out there? And if you guys have stocks on your radar, anything, maybe it's a catalyst, maybe it's a certain play with a stock, let us know, chat. That's what we're here for. We'll definitely take a look at some stocks, and excited to have a great week. I almost don't even want to say it, Scott, but I'm running on a 4-day win streak. Let's see what happens. You know how that goes when you start to mention it. It's like X's on the wall, man. You're just like, okay. Oh no, we might have the
just
circle
whisper.
day.
Just a whisper.
Yeah.
Don't shout it about.
Who's over the shoulder?
Trader Life has got a good point here. It's normally run through what's been going on like last week and those tickers that have been up the most in the past like 5 days or so. And Ironod was one last week, which had a benchmark to at 10.20ish, but it pushed up to 11.50. But now it's had a first red day. That is something that shorts love to look at, and they're looking at this kind of red day and where's the best place to get in on this play. So at the minute, let's actually just throw a VWAP on here. So it's holding VWAP right now. Let's see, where is that actual high? So the actual high is up there from yesterday. Let's just anchor a VWAP on that, see if it comes in at the same place. Yes, more or less. So that's where we're coming. So even the VWAP today is down here. This is the one I'm looking at off the highs of the previous day, which is at 10.88. So ideally, I'd love to get a pop to at least 10.90 on this to get in. Let's see where that is with regards to some liquidity. Already tapped into it there. So literally the liquidity pool is aligned with the anchored VWAP there right now. If it's going to go higher, it would be from the actually, no, let's take this one in the open. From the open down to the close. So there'll be one a little bit higher as well. So preferably there'll be more meat on the bone if we can get it up there to 11.20, 11.50, but ultimately we could just see it pop and drop from 10.80s. So that's how I'd play that one. An INOD. Trader Life, let us know what you think on that. If you've got any levels on it, we'll let the chat know.
All right, there's one that's popping off right now that is on my radar, guys. A little bit more expensive, but it's a biotech, of course, NVAX. And so it's showing up on the scanners today, up about 9%. Starting to get going here. And I like the hourly chart as it's starting to approach that kind of 10 level, right? So I'm going to look for a little bit of a fake out buy right out the gate. So where, like, buyers just try to jam on it right out the gates. It gets up there to like 990s, maybe even spikes on the offer to like 1005, and then a quick scoop right back down into this like 965 range. Big part of that is that I wanted to kind of reload here, get a little bit of a pop towards the 10, hit this area, then come back, reload up in this 960, 950 range, and then really take out that 10. This is NVAX. We'll see what happens there. And just always going to have to draw out the trade a lot of the times. For newer traders, I recommend this to definitely take a look into doing some of this, right? What drawing necessarily does is that it keeps you to what? Your actual trade plan, right? That's what we're trying to do at first, is really just execute on trade plans and then let the mathematical advantage get in your favor.
All right, Taquito's got KOSS on his radar this morning, saying it's looking interesting. We have costs on, broken out. Like I say, for the long side, that's where I like to get in. That's the trade really from the 265 to the 340s, 350s. Then potentially another one on a pullback. It certainly looks like it's held its buy side here. In fact, not even down to it, is it? So, it's holding well up above that 50% area. It's well above the buy side liquidity pool. Moving average is holding this right now. and its most recent buy side is going to be sitting at 340. So that's the one that's going to hold us up for the long if we can get in there and get some money flow off of that on the buy side. Else, we've got the bogey level just sitting above at 407 and 440, 450, 460-ish area up there for, one of the textbook benchmark 2 plays if we can get that rejection followed by a retest that doesn't quite make it to get in on KOSS. Trader Life, INOD, the 1080 level sounds good for the long entry short. For the long story short, sorry, the LSS. Yep, nice one.
All right, guys, hit those likes. Let's keep it going, guys. We got over 30 of you guys in here. I want to get some more traders in here. You guys hit that share button. I'm doing the same right now, guys. So you guys hit that share button, hit the tweet, let everybody know the Roaring Kitty's back, ready to trade after and get after these names. We'll see what happens today. Definitely going to be trying to nail one of these trades. Definitely AMC, some of these fast movers. Don't miss it, guys. GME, will it rip? It already is, guys. It's up there towards 26.35, man. You had to get up early. This is one of those days where if you got up early and played it early, you're not mad, right? If you got up at 6, 7 a.m., I mean, you played that resistance breakout. You're looking at the tape right now and wondering, how much will the Roaring Kitty give me?
Will there be another post? I'm just keeping an eye on X. I just want to see if that's the only post he's going to do for the next 3 years.
We want to watch those posts, right? If he posted something, we'll let you guys know. I have it open over here. I'm keeping a close eye on it.
Good. All right. Any earnings to speak of today?
That's a real interesting question, right? It's taken over so much that I caught some of the earning stocks, but it really wasn't on like the scanner for me showing up. And so a lot of times I'm trying to catch what's making the biggest move right during the kind of the day, and I'm not seeing much right now. Let me see what was on my earnings schedule here and importance. What is really important to kind of talk about here. And I use Benzinga Pro for this. You guys, I don't know if you guys use Benzinga Pro, but definitely check it out, guys. Before the open today, there was like TME, Azul, not really big companies, smaller companies, guys. Stone Company. So not really big names that I'd be focusing on today. Of course, later in the week, we'll get some bigger names. We'll find out what happens. I think today is one of those days where I'm watching some tech names, staples also. I will say that. Keep your eyes on the staples. They've been breaking out. Let's go to the sector outlook right quick. Look at this defensive chart on the daily. This is what I wanted to talk about last week. I started talking about, is values the move now? And look how defensive have really taken off. So we can watch to see what happens in this space. We talked about Coke last week, right? Some of these defensive names. Look how Coke has been really kind of starting to take off. Long-term trend line. Break on this, really nice little break now, starting to push. Walmart on the radar. Costco with a big move last week towards the end, right? Look at that. Nice big break out there on Costco. Target on my radar to start seeing this get the lift above 166. So that's definitely a radar type of stock that we can keep on watch. Of course, discount store is doing well here. And then utilities continuing on that drive. I'm going to keep pointing to it here, team. On day one, here on Trade the Pool for me, I talked about how XLU might start to make a nice little trend type of move. It isn't the sexiest, has only moved probably $4 or $5, but that 8% is consistent here on XLU as it's making a nice rip. And Nextera is kind of your leader in that space, and you can see it here, NEE with a big push also. All right, let's keep it going. What's going on out there, traders? I'm seeing Scott mention a little bit of some Mara action. All right.
Yeah, I got that one, but we're just about to go. I think we're off and running.
Ooh, 9:30. Let's get after it, team. You know what it is.
Mara. Just want to see what pops.
Hey, let's get after it, team. You know what time it is?
All right.
All right, let's get after it, team. Let's see what we got here. Definitely going to be watching AMC stocks like that out the gates here. AMC with a nice little quick pullback here. So 330 is kind of the area where I could see some reloading kind of happen on that. We'll see what happens on AMC, GME, and a bunch of stocks out there. Smash the like, guys. It's time to get after it. GME pulling back right out the gates here. Going to take a look also at NVAX. NVAX is starting to lift there. I actually kind of like that lift. It did do that pullback to 960 in the pre-market, though. Already now trying to make that $10 break. We'll see if that gets that $10 break. You can see it already pushing. NVAX with a nice little move out the gates here. All right, guys. You guys let me know if you guys see any stock that catches your attention. What you got for me, Scott? A lot of movement?
Oh, no, it wasn't huge. No, I had it on I dropped over from a 30-minute to a 1 minute. I thought this 1 minute bar, it looked like a complete crash on GameStop. I was like, no, actually, you've just switched from the 30 to the 1 minute. But yeah, no, we are seeing a little bit of a move off of that benchmark there in the first instance. But we've still got this other one up there at 28. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. That was a kind of an engulfing move there down, but all sorts happens on the open. Let's have a quick look at Mara for Scott, if you don't mind, as well. Yeah. What have we got? Let's go back out to that 30-minute on Mara, see if we can catch some levels here. So I'm thinking we've been, give me a little bit of space. Yeah, so we've been definitely holding CCLDs on the tape here as well. Mitch, is that popping on CCLD while I do this? Is that?
I'll take a look.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, 170 starting to make a move there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, holding sell side on Mara for the time being, or has been recently. Each sell side has been holding. The most recent sell side coming in here will be, where's that? Around 18, about $19, 19 and a half. And it's just tapped into its, looks like it's just tapped into its buy side in any case. So yeah, whichever high we use there, it's definitely in there. It's a case of what it does kind of right now today. Does it want to deep dive into the 1650 area, or if we hear it on the tape coming out, or we get an aggressive push, there's definitely room from 1760s up to 19 at the moment. So that's what I've got for you on Mara, Scott.
All right, ACIU and CCLD definitely in play today. CCLD got back above that 170. I'm looking at ACIU right now as it recovered. It did an opening wick to the downside here. Looking to see if maybe I can get 336, 334s and see this push towards the 350s and above. It's not a bad one. Definitely on the radar here. Just need a little bit of a pullback here towards like the 335, 330s. Here it is. All right, just taking a little bit there, 100 shares there, guys. ACIU here, guys, long here, long. So going to hold off of this kind of bottoming action off the 319 level. Let's see if this can really start to move and really get back above that 360. Go to the fours. That's really what I'm looking for, that 390 push. Let's see if we can start really getting that nice little level. ACIU. Long. Really would like to see this hold kind of this 329 start to get above. There's 340s here. Not bad move here out the gates there. I'm looking for a nice little pop to like 375s, 360s, and it can take half off. 100 shares, guys. Getting after it nice and early here today. GME already bouncing back a little bit here. I'd like to see some of those names really take off.
CCLD making a burst for it on that morning money flow volume. SYTA also hitting the tape at the minute. So yeah, nice push out of that level. Look at that. That's really nice. Let's see what the target would be on CCLD. So 230s, somewhere like that. 230s looking somewhere like that. Let's see what would that have on a benchmark play. Yeah, benchmark 2 off of like the pre-market low, most recent one would be up there around 235 as well. Another push coming from CCLD if it can do it.
NVAX got to 1030s, now pulling back. I'm gonna look for like kind of like a 975 quick pullback. We'll see what happens there. GME, big push there, guys. So keep your eyes on GME up to 2689 now. All right, guys, might have to get out of this ACIU. It's not holding on here. Now it's down there. There it goes. Quick little dip there for me. I'm trying to get out here. Spread wide. I'm going to have to just click out there, guys. Took a hit there out the gates there. So down a decent amount there. Probably like 30 or 40 on that one. Stepping it up to like about 40s on the losses, but I think I just hit that there. Let me just review it. I'll let you guys know exactly what happened there.
GME now pushing up 2690 at the moment on GME. Halted. Halted.
Yeah,
seriously.
GME.
Why is GME halted? That's 20. What have we gone? 26 in 5 minutes. Where's that 5 minute?
Yeah, I don't feel like it should have been halted there, but
that's not a circuit breaker.
AMC
man, they're all over it. They're all over it.
AMC might get going here, guys. AMC 360s. Will this just take off there? The 330 area was a nice dip buy on AMC. That 330 was a really nice area. That wicked right to that 330s and then bounced right off of that. I'm looking to see if AMC wants to start moving as GMEs did that big push. It doesn't seem like a bad one to maybe take a shot on it, but hey, this is definitely a little bit more risky trading. Got to be careful out there, traders. See if I can get a dip here to like 348. It's one of those days, guys. Got to be careful out there, traders, but let's see what we can find. I have no idea why GME halted there. That's the interesting part. AMC trying there. There's a pretty good size volume at the 348s. So I'm looking to see if he can get taken out. It clicks like 346 and then takes off. Gonna take some shots today, guys. NVAX was an interesting one. Back above 10, now starting to cut below 10. So I wouldn't mind if I could get this back to like 975s. There's AMC.
I'm just looking up the halt codes because I don't believe that's a circuit breaker. What is it? Is
it news pending? Is it?
Yeah, no. They're saying it is just a volatility trading pause, but it's an M on the halt codes, which I don't believe is a circuit breaker halt, right?
All right, guys, I just took a little long there on AMC. I'm willing to add a little bit more here, but let's start seeing if this can get going here. My idea is if GME gets blocked like that, and then sometimes they just look for what else can I buy? What else can I get in this space?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe AMC gets bought up. Exactly. You get what I'm talking about, Scott.
Right, CCLD. That was kind of a high volume drop on that, which can often be the opposite of what you might think. But it's tapping into. Let's have a quick look here. Right. So it's quite aggressive up off of this buy side. This is the most recent buy side here at 1.67. If we're going to make it up here to the 230s, we'll probably have to wear that it could push down to this kind of 140 area, but it could still do it. But I'm listening for it to come on the tape. And there is the first shout on the tape, but it was only one. See if we can get. Yeah, I need to see a little bit more than that. It was literally just one shout out there, whereas ACIU at 38 minutes past the hour had about 15 shout outs. Is ACIU finding a bottom?
That one got me out the gates.
So ACIU, I prefer that a little bit lower. Yeah, no, I'm going to leave ACIU alone at the moment. Have a look at LCCID. So I don't know when this will unhalt.
I'm adding to AMC. I just wanted to give you guys the heads up on that. Overall market's getting hit here. Hey guys, you guys heard me this morning, guys, talk about how Google and stocks like that could lead the action. Google's actually up right now, and you're getting some downside in the SPY here. Definitely SPY down big there. We'll see what happens in NVIDIA. There's AMC already starting to move there. NVIDIA is getting hit hard, guys. I will say that. Be careful out there, traders.
Knowledge right. The NQ has just taken a dump on this one. It is it's literally really moving down right now. Let's have a quick look at that if we can. So yeah, we've just tapped above that sell side. It's been sitting there for quite a while. That sell side liquidity pool acting as that magnet. We've just been working through it through the Globex session. Then that final push up to short and down all the way. Basically looking for, there's the first buy side. There's one below it. But basically going into New York's close at the moment, I think down here somewhere. So a nice quick snap on the NASDAQ there.
All right, there, guys. I have 200 shares at 348 on AMC. Trying to see it really kind of take off now. We'll see what happens. GME reopened?
No, not that.
Not yet?
No, not yet. No, see, not being a circuit breaker,
trading.
just a volatility. We don't
trading.
know that. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I see it trading now. My bad. Yeah.
All right, with that being said, I already see it going up here. I'm going to take a shot on pullbacks on AMC right now just because I don't have GME, so I'm going to go for the sympathy play. All right, now I got 300 shares.
Hold again. GME's holding again.
All right, now I want to see AMC just get a bunch of volume to come in here. $359, $360 starting to show up there for AMC. Come on, a little bit of a push, just a push there towards like 375. There's 360s now, 363s. We're starting to get a little bit of a move there on AMC. I got you, Scott. There we go. Let's see if this can really start to move and we can take some profits into the move. We go once 363. Let's go. Get a nice little juice pop. Next level.
Come on, 360s. Where you got the next level on that? This has got to have 4 more minutes on this trade, surely, because there's nothing else they can trade.
372, and then from there we can go to the 4s. So the 372s, and then from there 4.
So quick.
So like nice little pop to 372. I'm probably going to sell half and then just leave the remainder break even, let it work, try to make a big amount of money on the day. There's 365 on the offer. Where's the sell orders? 365, 368 needs to get through that first, and 372 level. I'm going to look for the 371 out there on the first shares. Orders out right now. Let's see if I get it, guys. Let's see if I get it. I get it. Come on. Let's get it.
Cost is also on the tape running for 80s. 5. Actually got to 5. Just spiked to 5. CCLD coming on the tape now.
Not getting it. Canceling for right now. GME opened up yet? Nope.
No.
It's 365 showing up again.
Just tried a long on CCLD there, coming on the tape on the buy side liquidity pool. We'll see if that's got any more legs on it than the shout out it just got. But aware it's got this level sitting right beneath it. 140s hasn't been tacked into yet, so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, Nasdaq taking another harsh drop there. I've not even looked at the any of the Mag 7s as yet.
This 372 is being pesky, guys. We'll see if we get through it. There's 369, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little bit off there at the 370s. And the reason why I took a little bit off there is because we did take a hit earlier today. So this just gets me down like really close to break even on the day. And now I can just let the remaining 150 shares work. So I'm going to set a break even with that. That's 350s. So can't break 350 on pullback and looking for the 4 run. I could probably take all the cash too if I see for some reason GME open and it just comes down. But GME halted on the up move and it was fast.
So this is the final benchmark I've got for GME. So I guess you've got to be careful that they don't switch to GME if that halt comes in. But I think they're going to halt this all the time. It doesn't matter how high it gets. They're going to halt this every single second.
It's one of those days, guys. Keep looking for them. There's going to be other moves too off of this, I feel. Right? We got to keep looking, guys. Keep looking. If you guys see a move, let me know in the chat. All right, looking around, RX getting a little.
Oh, that was today. On the scanner. Yeah, that was on the scanner quite aggressively this morning.
Yep, interesting play, definitely moving. I'm looking around, guys. I'm trying to find plays for us. Remember, I talked about one play that was interesting for me today was Reddit. Reddit just pushed up towards 61s right out the gates from 55s. Now has pulled back here towards this 58 level. Looks interesting for me off this like kind of 57. What is this level? 57, 71. So just below 58. Wouldn't mind taking like maybe 10, 20, 30 shares on this Reddit. Keep an eye on it, guys.
The CCLD is continuing to hear some bidders on this tape. We've got, the only trouble is now it's made that push down. I have another issue to contend with. My target previously on this run up out of the previous buy side would have just been a straight up there to 230, but now we've pulled back. We have to contend with this 180 to 188 area. So I'm just going to be wary of that. If we pop up there, what you got? Open?
AMC quick downturn there. So I'm just setting to stop at the 340 area and then just letting it work. Should have already stopped that at 350s, but it was kind of one of those where I was looking at the Reddit chart there, and now it's going to recover. So I'm just setting to stop there. We'll see if it actually comes back down. GME reopened, guys. Look at that. 3172. Boom. Hits the down trigger right there towards like the 229s and then right back up to 31s. So GME, what a move, man. If you were able to get this in the pre-market, I mean, just imagine that's a monster move there, monster lift there. GME, big move.
Just this might be the power of social media on these tickers these days. It's absolutely crazy that one
thing that I'm thinking of, right? And this is the hardest trade ever. But after 3 halts, a lot of the times I see a down halt, right? And this is just like on statistics. I'm sure you've seen it too, Scott.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
Like a penny stock will get like that first halt. You're like, all right, I'm feeling confident. 1 halt is not that bad. 2 halts, okay. That's where usually a lot of traders start to sell because they don't want to get caught into the 3rd halt. Once that third halt comes, that's usually when you start seeing what traders get a little frightened and they're trying to set the sell orders here. So when this opens up, you might see a quick spike followed by a quick pullback. It doesn't mean that it's completely over with, but just be careful out there, traders, because this is a fast moving puppy.
So
let's go back to Reddit.
Trader Life was mentioning about Ironod earlier being that first red day play. It broke through that initial sell side liquidity. I think you mentioned earlier that it didn't have too much volume, so you was kind of scratching it out. So I've just got into that second level of sell side, which is the one that I would prefer to say more meat on the bone on this. I'm just seeing if we get a decent. I want this momentum to discontinue. I want that to stop. So I might start around about here on INOD. Sorry, Mitch, back to you, man.
No, you're good. I see someone in the chat, Thomas, talking about JetBlue. Well, hey, my swing trade outlook on American, I think that would have been perfect, man. Look at that American really starting to prop now, going into 15. DAL is another one that I'd keep on watch. Look how that just keeps on climbing. So JetBlue on the radar today. Yeah, why not, right? Even it's probably helping Save get a little lift. Yeah, even Save getting a little bit of a push there. We'll see what happens, but definitely airlines kind of in play. Industrials were strong on Friday and continuing to be strong today, leading the sectors today. Consumer cyclical, healthcare, defensive names. We talked about this in the pre-market. Would defensive names get the lift? Yes, they are. Pets, Pet Med Express getting a little bit of a push today. Walgreens, Boots Alliance, a little bit of a push there. Confectioners, tobacco, soft drinks. Coca-Cola, we talked about that, right? Yeah, definitely Coke strong today and continuing to be strong. We'll see what happens in this space, but not looking too bad in defensive area. What's down? Technology's down, guys. We'll see what happens there. How's cost doing? Man, this was one that was on the radar. Oh, I missed this one. Guys, for the 4 break, I even had an alert set for that. I don't know how I missed that alert, guys, but costs. Big move there. I know the chat was looking at this one this morning. Hey, Thomas, way to get that American. It looks like you're in that too. So, hey, definitely smash it up, guys. Cost was on the radar today. Big push to 5. That one's a miss, Scott. I think that one was when there was a nice little easy setup on costs. And the big thing is, look at the daily chart on costs. Look how this 375 set up for the 4 break. Nice move there.
Yeah, Scott's got Mara. Yeah, tapped into the buy side pool there. Wicked in pre-market on the switch on there. Is that 8 o'clock? Yeah, on the and then another one wicking on 17.50. So yeah, fingers crossed we're on our way straight up there to 19.20. Just have a quick look down here at those lows, see if we've got anything benchmark wise. All right, a bit lower on the benchmark front. If we can get through 18.20s, benchmark 1, benchmark 2 up there at 18.80s. So just they might front run that pool a little bit. Just be careful of that. CCLD just popped. Long CCLD. Where did that go to? Sell side or above? All right, so we're kind of above this one. That's good for me if we can hold above it and that this doesn't spike to 194. Where's the VWAP on this? Want to see what other players are doing. So that's a reclaim of VWAP on this as well. So now I am looking for this target of 236. No add on that, unfortunately, because that would be a proper chase right now. But I'll see if I can if we close up above here, I'll see if we get a consolidation play. But it needs to pull back a little bit more than where it is right now on CCLD. What's GME doing?
Just hanging out. Hasn't opened up yet, but it should open up in probably about 1 minute here, guys. So get ready. I think we're about to get that action. NVAX, man. Today's one of those days where it feels like, and this is not like a cutout, but it's more like to understand for you guys out there. Today's one of those days where I feel like I'm seeing a lot on the charts. I'm just not executing a lot. And that's because my eyes are like 10 different ways right now, right? So look at the NVAX move. We were looking at like maybe 975 pullback for a move back above 10. Really nice move there, like really measured. And so I think that right now is one of those days where I'm maybe just not playing the best quality trade right now. And that is something to learn from. Always going to let you guys know when I'm seeing something and it's starting to click with me. And I want you guys to learn from it. So in this case, NVAX, probably a better play today. And even GME itself was a better setup trade. We'll see what happens. Did this halt again? Did we get another halt?
Yeah, right now it's done it. They're not letting you get in on it. They're not letting you get in.
They're not letting you get in, man.
No, and Tim raises a good point here. You can't game the Right, you can't game the halts on
Take a little more.
GME. It's like literally you can't. You can't try and game the halts. You have to. You're either in it from the off before it started, or you can't try and manipulate that whole price action on an entry. It'll be scratched out.
Early morning, and remember the Roaring Kitty stuff was out yesterday, right? It was out last night, so you got to. The early bird gets the worm. They say it, guys. It ain't no joke in this case. All right, guys, in a second, I'm just going to add here on AMC and then just hold like with like a 2 penny risk here. So it's like a go or no go type of trade where I'm just going to size in and then just hold right below it. Give me like 351 and 350 on the bid. There you go, like that. Exactly. Boom. Right there, just jumped on it. Now I can hold the remainder and just hold it right underneath it for an out. 351 average. Let's hold on 345. So I'll just put 345 stop.
All right, CCLD continuing to push up their target at 230. I think we're going to get it right now. See if we can get that push. If not, I'll cover some here. I don't want to see that drop. Oh, I missed it. I missed that. I didn't get filled there at 220. Damn.
It's one of those days.
Look at that, man. Just missed it. Just couldn't slip that order in at 220. All right, so we'll see. So why has it come back down there? Let's take a look. Have I got a safety blanket down here in this area? Because if there's a reason for it to come back. Okay, so we haven't closed below the most recent buy side. I don't like that bar. It is a flush bar. Just couldn't get out. Look at that. Literally 5 cents off my target there. MVAX crossing. MVAX crossing off the sell side liquidity right now. Take a look at that as well. So this sell side is done for me, obviously, because it's been whipped right through. So now it's a case of, right, we've got a VWAP play. I think we'd probably more, if we crack that VWAP, we're coming down to 166, which is pretty much where I got in, I think. But we could still get that push off the tape. So, you know, it might not be done yet, but I'm not as confident. I'll try and get another little push up to see if I can't take some off. Just under where I wanted to be. NVAX. I was looking at NVAX a second. Trade Life. I'm assuming you meant NVAX. Sorry, not you typed in NVA. Yeah. Gotcha. Sorry, I've just seen your comment. Sorry, man. Go, Mitch.
No, you're good, my friend. I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot in the biotech space. So if you got biotechs on the radar, definitely I'd keep them on the radar. Just seeing a lot, like, right? Like even like the Kathy name starting to get a little bit of a lift. CRISPR, right? Nice move out the gates here today. Starting to turn back around. So biotech's not a bad space. Let me see the overall here. Yeah, the index tells me itself. Nice little move here on the 15-minute chart. You can see that. That tells me something. All right, guys, going back to AMC. What you got?
Another push from COS. Just halted actually on that one from 470 up to 514. 514. So we'll see what that's got on it. I don't think it halted yet today, is it? Oh, yes, it did. It has halted once previously. Okay, so we'll see what that's got. CCLD coming back at me.
What a move. What a move.
Oh. All right, CCLD coming back for more. Now the question is it done? Because that's my sell side right there at 210. Let's see if I can't push through that. If you got something else, and I can manage this, Mitch. If you got something else.
Right now, I'm just kind of just keeping an eye on AMC, trying to see if this can really get the move, even if it wants to get the buys. That ACIU, I might come after it one more time if it really starts to make a move. It's trying to hold the $3 spot right now. That's just something that I'm just catching on the radar here. So I'm looking around. I know that biotechs are hot, so keeping a look to see if those can stay strong. What else we got out there, team? I know NVIDIA was a hard downside move. It's starting to make its way back here. So is the SPY and the Qs. So keep an eye out for that. Moderna with a nice little move today. That tells me biotechs, right? So maybe Pfizer. There's Pfizer, nice little lift there. We'll see what happens. But biotechs getting a nice little push just to start the day here. We'll see what happens. Some of the bigger names, I always look at the top. NVO, VRTX. Yeah, a lot of these getting a nice little push. That could help NVAX, right? That could help NVAX get another lift here. NVAX is setting up here. We'll see if it actually wants to make a move back above 10.
I just closed the CCLD there on. So I was just hanging in to see if we did get that push, because I clearly didn't get my 230, and that was quite a harsh rejection, and I don't hear money on the tape. But yeah, it tacked into that, so I covered that trade. I closed that trade at 204 because it can obviously do what it's doing now and just come back down. So I managed to rescue a little bit. It wasn't quite 230, but we still took it up from 164 to 204. That's not bad. INOD, don't take my eye off INOD. What have we done? Have I missed INOD? No, okay. So INOD's still pushing up deeper into that sell side liquidity pool. VWAP up there on the deviation there at 1150. So keeping alert just below there. What else we got? GME. This is what I was talking about last week, wasn't it? Right? It was when we were saying what the opportunity, if there's a job to do for the market makers, they're going to do it, and that's when they can start doing their halts. They couldn't do it in pre-market. From $20 up to $25, you could have just be in no halts at all. Right? That's it. That's the beauty of pre-market. Yeah, there's often less liquidity on a lot of tickers that you might be looking at, but there's no halts. If it's running, it's running. And yeah, I'm definitely a miss today on that pre-market action.
Yeah, man, this is one that I was thinking about taking the shot in the pre-market, right? But by the time I had come in already, the only one that made sense was the 22 dip, and that I kind of missed out on. So the 22.34 dip, that kind of was the only area that I would have maybe taken a shot. But that's just looking back, hindsight 2020, right? Definitely smash the like out there, guys. You guys are enjoying the action. Hit the share button. We got a couple of new guys out here, guys, watching the show. So definitely hit the share button. Let us know. I know there's a lot of people watching on Twitter. So like always, you guys can keep up with us on Twitter. You guys see my tag right here at MoneyMitch_TTP, of course. Trade the pool, guys. Getting after it today. AMC with a quick dip there, guys. Might have to get out. AMC just not the one, guys, and I got in the wrong name today, guys. So definitely getting hit right here on this pullback. I'm out, guys. Took a big hit there on AMC. Downside action there. Took my eye off of it for a second watching that other stock. But hey, that's how it goes today. Jan, what's going on out there? It's good to see you out there. What's going on? I'm at the bounce back today, guys. Down about 60 here, guys. So just in the wrong stock. You guys know I had an interesting outlook on the stocks today. Just staying with AMC, not the right move.
So CCLD is all over this tape this morning. It's really got some volume. It's whether or not it can crack again past this sell side, but I don't like chasing it. So if it does crack above this 219, my original target would have been up there at 230. So we'll see how it plays out up there. But every dip is catching a bid on this, and with serious volume. COS has just opened up as well, so sounds like that's getting another push. Oh, there you go. So that's run into its $5 area, 540 VWAP deviation coming up, and it did not like being up there at $5.50 for sure. So we're going to get a halt down. You can't hold it twice.
Man.
Twice on the way, not halting out. There you go, halting on the downside now for COS, and no one likes to halt down. So let's see if that can get below the VWAP on the next one. Everything's going on today.
It's one of those days, guys. Got to keep the battle on.
INOD now pushing above sell side liquidity pool, so the sell on this is not looking so great for me. Let's see if there's anything else I could have missed on this. I think it's just a push. But there's those moving averages that come in here. That's held them up nicely. So it's still front side move. Backside of benchmark 2 as well that held that up. So let's see. Double top sitting up there at kind of $12-ish. But in terms of a backside play for INOD at the moment, let's have a look on the day. That red day. Yeah, the first red day we're almost completely taking that out. So yeah, that's kind of off the radar unless it really rejects it on the double top here for me.
SPY trying to work its way back. We'll see if it does.
CCLD on the tape again. I feel like it is going to push this at the moment. Let's see. They can turn on a dime these, so we'll keep an eye on C. What's I know AMC you said took a drop. MVAX. All right, MVAX is
GME opened and it's on the downside here, guys. Downside. Did it halt again on the downside now?
So look how big the
it's halted.
Yeah,
man. All right, now it's kind of the time to decide if I can go after it on the short side. We'll see. It's going to be a hard one, that's for sure. It's so quick on the freeze up that you got to be careful. That's definitely going to affect some stocks out there.
Look, that's exactly. Remember, I say if they smash these benchmark twos out of the water, the formula is still the same. You just dub it. You don't have to cut all the levels again. Just take the area from where it broke out from, right? That manipulation zone to the benchmark 2 and drag it up again. And that's exactly where it comes into again before we see some downside. So let's see what it is like off this level. It could do this 2, 3, or 4 times, mind you. So let's see what happens off this. But like I've said before, no one likes a downside halt like they like upsides for the first 3 times.
RX now to 1025, so that one's been a good one on the day. Could have a little bit of a pullback now to 970. NVAX, man, NVAX was a really nice play today. Just did not listen to my own kind of outlook on this stock, guys. Look at that now to 1033. Really good outlook early on in the day, looking for that 960 pullback. That would have been nice as it reloaded right above that. Now really starting to make a move. And another thing that can tell me that this was an area to kind of trade today was just looking at biotechs overall and seeing this type of chart right on the 5-minute. You can see how that's really been pushing. Biotechs have had a great day today. So big push up there. Not a bad one to keep on watch. Nice move. Looking at some other ones and running through some of these biotechs to see if there's any that we're missing. But RX, we've talked about that. Fate Technologies getting a lift. CRISPR, big push. So just running through these biotechs just shows me that, yeah, there's a nice little move there in biotechs today. So if you're trading those types of names, it's something to watch, right? This is what I do at all the time, guys. I just run through the charts. Cost halted.
Another push. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, halted at 03. It should be coming back. 03 and 55 seconds. So nice. 08, that's going to be another 50 seconds. That's coming back. Another push on volume into this top of this liquidity pool now. So this is now done, right? That's now done for me. Doesn't have to push through, but the liquidity was there, is now gone for me. It can still break to the downside, but it's not really of any value now at this point. And it can break through on momentum. So this has been defended. 220 area has been defended multiple times between 215 and 220 on the offer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So I think it's got more on this CCLD. I think it'll get to my original target there, but we'll see what it's got. There it goes. All right, let's see what it does with 230. So that was my original target there. I'd have been a happy bunny with all that. And now I'd be looking, oh, look at that push. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
It was looking.
It was. That's a beautiful push. All right, now let's see if it rejects it properly at this level.
ACIU coming back now. Wondering if this could actually get the lift here. Not enough volume. That's the problem with the ACIU. I don't see enough volume there. GME, what's going to happen when it opens up? It should open up in just about a minute here.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm gonna look at GME here, guys, because I'm willing to take a little bit of a shot. Why not?
See what
happens here. Yeah, that's where the hairiness gets out there. But hey, I've been battling on this account. I'm gonna keep battling. I've had a nice little 4 green days, and let's battle a little bit. Looking at the overall market, also seeing that downside action there come in, and so I'm looking at maybe potentially playing like SQQQ alongside SOXS, starting to make a little bit of a lift here.
Down.
So, oh, GME. Oh, it's too fast, man. It's too fast. It opened up right when I went to the Qs.
$2
that thing's
too
already quick. Yeah, it's just too quick, man. It's just too quick. And it's not giving like the pop back. Like if it gave the pop back, I could short into the pop, but that's the hard part. And another thing to just be careful out there, traders, right? Like look how fast this stock is moving. So like in like 10 seconds, it moved like $3 or $4. So you got to understand that, right? Like be careful with this type of play.
CCLD pushing again.
I want to see 33s here. Above 33s. I don't mind taking a shot off the 35s. But it is fast, man. Did it even get to 33? Nah, 32.90s. It's on the struggle now, GME. We'll see if it pulls back and finds some buyers.
Nolly's saying trade those means safely. He's not touching it.
Yeah. It's a hard one. Mara back below the VWAP. I know that someone was watching Mara earlier today. We'll see if that can catch a bounce there, come back up, but something I'm watching. CLSK, Clean Spark, also pulling back. Very similar stock, right? In that space. SPY overall starting to head down here, guys. So we could see some dragging action start to come in the market. Just be careful out there, team. NVIDIA struggling a little bit here. See if NVIDIA starts to come down today. I know a lot of people are looking for that 900 break on the upside, especially longer term traders. So that's something to keep in mind later today. If it gets back above 900, it could really start to get moving. But it could also just fade, broke through that 900. Don't give those traders a move back and then just starts to flush down here. Doesn't look too bad, this NVIDIA for the short off the 896 spot.
Just looking at AMC here now. So this is where, oh, that's kind of so sketchy. I just take the, it's the most recent. So I'm just looking back here to see which was the last one that held before it ran. Yeah, and it's this one here. So I'm going to go from here up to the high. So 320s is the low. What you got?
I just see GME halt again, downside, guys. That's going to be a halter all day, I feel like.
Yeah, they're not going to let that happen again, mate. I tell you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. As long as they don't block anybody, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I still remember trading when the GME thing happened, man. That was crazy.
So CCLD on the tape again. Geez. So AMC's in that buy side. So benchmark coming off, the liquidity pool sitting here. We've already tapped into 318, so it's kind of doubtful whether it's kind of been used up in its entirety. So this is the point, is whether we're going to hold this most recent one, which is right here tapped into at 324. If we hear any more volume on it, we'll see what comes out. But yeah, I'll be surprised. I mean, I know what you still can't get in on you when you're trading things like Webull and all those
short Nvidia. Small short here. Starter on. I definitely don't want to get it back above 899. I want to see it reject this area and then come back towards the 888s, 889. See if it rejects 897, starts to come back down. Body close right here is important. But what were you asking?
I forgot. I know there's what's the other commission-free Robinhood.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously, if we're trying to, we're trying to short these and long these meme stocks as they're going. So unless they're buy and hold in from the open on those, can you trade on the pre-market on those brokers?
I believe you can start at 9 a.m.
All right. Okay.
So that to just, of course, traders in the chat, you guys can kind of fact check us and confirm with us. But yeah, that's from my understanding, Scott, 9 a.m. for Robinhood. There's other brokerages, of course, that does free commissions that you can get in maybe as early as 7, like Webull. I know does 7. But other than that, there's not many that will be but like before 7. So not like 4 to like 7 a.m. So that's just for your free commission trading.
So we've got both of, so we'll see if they do it, but we've got the buy side pull right down to the bottom on AMC. We then pulled in and tacked into the most recent one based on the micro levels that we're swinging out of, and it's pushing off at the moment. It's literally kind of 10 cents off that level on AMC. Just looking at the trend line through there, it'd have to break above there at 336. And GME is heading down the same way. If it gaps down again, we're going to gap down into the VWAP. We're going to gap down into the liquidity pool with the moving averages here. So maybe if this holds, you'll see a slower move up and hopefully less restrictive move on the halt side of things. We'll see what they do. CCLD coming off now. I tried CCLD on the short side, but it was screaming at me on the tape up here to where did I do? I was in it to 35 and I was out at 45. But yeah, the play was on. So yeah, it's gone without me on this one. But yeah, first target would have been down here from 240s down to $2. VWAP buy side liquidity pool. Quick rejection off there on CCLD. So then we'll see if it's got any more on it from this level. Actually, there'll be a new buy side based on the whole swing. Let's have a quick look up to that now. I'm going to move it up because, yeah, so this one creeps up. So we now got one big massive pool of liquidity now on these two. Let's see if it uses it. Not coming off a double top, is it? Just coming off that red day. It's like triple top up here. I'd be careful on that iron odd one.
GME open, guys, now holding up here. Will it do another run to the upside, right? So be careful out there, traders. We'll see. But off the 30 mark here looks interesting. There's a little bit of a push there, and we'll see what happens in GME.
Tim's waiting in the wings.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's bring on the man himself. He knows a little bit about the GME story. So let's bring on, of course, Tim. How we doing, Tim?
Hey, good morning, folks.
Cheers.
Hey, Tim,
cheers indeed, man. Cheers. Pinkies up, like I always say.
This is an homage to well, we'll call him Roaring Kitty on here for family friendliness, but cheers everybody. And
hey,
I remember seeing some of his earlier analyses where he had the drink, and then after the big that big push, he just came on. I remember that kind of celebration stream. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was a crazy time. So Yeah, tell you what, I got in that. Was it? I'd have to go back and look, but I think it was like October before all that kicked off. I'm not sure. And yeah, was in that with options and just kind of riding it, trading it, leading up to the squeeze. So by the time we had the squeeze, I was already doing pretty well.
All right. Looks like
fun.
GME halted again. Now upside.
Really, that the move doesn't seem that big for a.
It's not like that's where I think Scott and I have been confused today. They're doing like these volatility halts, and it's not the classic like 10%, you know,
Yeah, I'm
in a
gonna
certain amount of
pull
time.
up.
I don't know
the,
what's going on with the halts, but it's like
Well, they're NYSE. So let me pull up the. I have the Nasdaq halts bookmarked, but let me pull up the NYSE halts.
and the thing that it interests me too is that the volume is not excessive, right? Like GME has like a decent like float, like for one.
We all know why
pair.
it's getting halted, right? Crime. No.
I mean, Tim, you're not going to be the
Not
only one
acquitted.
yelling in the streets today, man.
No,
Let's just
I'm,
say the protest signs are coming.
It blew my mind because there's and I think that's one of the things that got me interested in the educational piece of trading, because there was stuff just from reading up, I'd gotten some information on sort of market mechanics and things like that, and there were some hijinks for sure. Like Robinhood, for example, had a lot of sort of irresponsibilities. They were growing their services and in terms of capital and risk management, but where people think they're seeing things is not where things are going on necessarily. And I think the more you can understand those market mechanics, just like we were talking about last week, then the more you're not surprised by things that might happen. Yeah, this is interesting. It just says LULD pause. So
I don't know what to say, guys.
They're both doing their thing, right? They both come down into it. That GME come down into its buy side, tapped in straight out. AMC done exactly the same things,
well,
whether or
actually,
not they can close above now.
Well, no, it got up to like, what is it, 30? Let me see which screen I'm sharing. Yeah, it got up to, what is it, 38.13 it looks like, and then I can just hover over. Hold on, my brain it's been kind of a crazy morning. So yeah, 38.20. Then it came all the way down, but then it's on the way back up that it. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. That is interesting. A few other things interesting too, like you were saying, Novavax. I mean, that's just crazy. $10 now.
Yeah.
So, and there was another deal with them today. I was looking over my farm watch list this morning, and FULC. I don't know why this is not. Fulcrum Therapeutics entered into a collaboration license agreement with Sanofi for a muscular dystrophy drug. So there was recently the news with the COVID vax, obviously, with Sanofi, and they're doing some interesting moves too. A little bit less extreme than Novavax, or let's see how Fulcrum is doing. So Fulcrum actually kind of dipped and is now trying to push up. So that's interesting. They had their ER this morning. They had the announcement, and now they sold off the announcement. Yeah, and they actually did like a nice 161 extension to the downside here, and now trying to reclaim to the upside. So there could be, I could easily see it coming back up to, what is that, 760, 762 ish for a retest there. But doesn't look super strong to me. I don't know. But Sanofi is just going strong, and so they're a nice proxy for Novavax, I would say, at the moment. I'm not in them yet, though.
All right, a lot of action going on. Market's starting to get a little bit of a spike. It might get spiked out of NVIDIA.
I'm shorting Disney again. I'm shorting Target. That was a bear flag. I got an initial partial stop out or whatever, but yeah. And then well, I thought I saw that weakness on AMC, but are you still in AMC, Mitch?
No, I got hit hard on AMC.
All right. Well, it looks like it was gonna fill to the downside, and right from my entry is pretty much exactly where it bounced. It's on a different screen, but I pretty much bottom ticked that one for a short. So
there you go. GME back open and to the upside. I don't know if you guys want to take a look at that. We'll see what happens. It's pushing strong, but tried to get to the 33s. We'll see if it actually can get through that level. Ooh, another stop out for me in NVIDIA, and that was a quick one there, right off the 899.50s there, guys. So I'll look to see if it comes back down, but market got a little bit of a spike there. Looking for the later in the afternoon fade. Got to make some money back, man.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Tough day today, for sure.
I'm still seeing the weakness in AMC, though. I mean, I feel like that's just a meme pop generally. I tried shorting Hood, too. That was the other thing, and that was now I am bullish on them generally, and that's what I was holding over the weekend in an options position. Unfortunately, I hedged my calls because I was like, man, I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, why is this getting driven down? Like, it feels strong. So
NVAX was the move, man. What a move. Oh, I was looking at that one in the pre-market. It just looked like a nice setup. Definitely really nice rip there. About 16% on the rip there. So if you were able to nail that NVAX, what a move, man. Look at that. Wow. Nice little breakout there. And
yeah, imagine having faith in the weekend, just holding it after that run up and just holding over the weekend for a swing, or even the pre-market this morning. If you had a small enough, and this is a position size thing, right? If you on that initial push in the pre-market, if you entered there and there's no reason to expect it wouldn't come back and retest the closing price, right? So if you were able to withstand that, you'd be off to the races today. So good example of just sizing, right? Better to earn a little bit every day than lose a lot every day.
That is definitely true.
You checked your Twitter, Mitch? Don't know whether I've has he posted again?
Roaring Kitty. Let's see. I don't think he has. No post.
No, it's a pin. He's just put it's the pin. It's the pin.
Yeah, he did the light, right? And then later he posted that image, right?
That's it.
All right, guys, going after NVIDIA one last time, guys. I feel like I got top tick there, like where it just got chased into the market maker there. So like at that point, I'm just going to take one more trade here. Keep it simple, 10 shares again, short a little bit of NVIDIA. It just seems like a chart that just to me wants to crack and really start to catch some people. So let's see if the SPY can come down, the Qs could come down, and that would be what I'm looking for here.
Now, keep in mind, the one thing that Roaring Kitty has not done is done a new positions post. So most likely that would be on Reddit if he chose to do it. I mean, I have to imagine he took some profits.
Speaking of Reddit.
Yep. Oh, how's it doing?
I think it's a good stock to watch today. It's starting to get a lift right now. It did a nice little VWAP move on the pullback here. Starting to get strong here. I'd like maybe a 59 entry. I could get a pullback right now through 59, like 58.75, 58.90s. I'd like that area. So let's see what happens now if we can get a little pullback. And it seems like a good time to start bringing in the you choose trade here. So like always, team, we like to take a trade that you guys choose in the chat. Sometimes this is some of the best trades that we see out there. We've had a great trade last week when we were able to trade G-Sun to the short side. So definitely smash the like, guys, out there. Start dropping in those tickers coming up. We trade. Post your ticker, direction, and price. Let us know. What do you guys want to trade? What do you guys want to get after? We'll get after it today. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. It could be GME, right? Is that what you guys want to see traded? I don't mind. We can try to figure this out. Maybe it's Reddit. It's the long side. Find out. All right, NVIDIA.
Yeah, and that's
little
the
tap
right.
there.
Like that's the smart guess, right? If he comes back on Twitter, is he going to come back on Reddit? But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go too much into my sort of personal stock opinions. I do that on my personal stream, but I will say, I was very long GameStop myself in the run up, and then I flipped to being biased short just after I saw what they did or didn't do with all the capital they raised and all the momentum and PR they had. They really had a moment to capitalize on that, whether brick and mortar, whether online, different ventures, and I just haven't seen a lot persuasive there. So, maybe he sees something different, and I'd love to see that. But obviously, this could be a real quick rug pull if he says anything that deflates the balloon even a little bit.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's something to watch. There's NVIDIA starting to come down. There's the SPY. There it is, guys. There it is. There's iSpy. All right, there we go. It was seeming to me like a little bit of a trap to the upside. Q's also coming down with this, and this is something that I can maybe look at to come after, like a name like Google that was already on the downside earlier, has come back, could start coming down here. Apple. It's another one. We'll see. That one's actually on the upside. Let's see what's going on here. Microsoft, a little fade off of that one. We'll see what happens. Tesla, I'm looking at the bigger names to see which one I can come after. AMD, another one. 153, trying to go up. Could start to break down a little bit here. Definitely starting to see a little bit of a turn there. We'll see what happens.
I am adding on that AMC short just to
see if we can crack here 892s and really start going towards the 888 area on NVIDIA. That's where I think we could really start to get down here. And on the daily chart, I think this could make it back down towards kind of this space here, this 880s. So let's see if we really start to break. Smash it up out there, team. What's going on? Seen some comments come in.
All right. Now, it took
Eldon.
a second. But on that, on that weakness in the SPY, I'm starting to see the first weakness in Sanofi, SNY. So I'm going to take a feeler there. I'm going to first check before I even sell the ask that I
Sanofi,
check
all
the
right.
sizing. And
interesting
this
play.
could still have a lot of momentum to the upside. So I'm not going to go nuts here, but I just want to see if I'm
ARKK having a hell of a day there, guys.
And I'm starting to see Pfizer too. That was one that had a big pop. Now, was there news on Pfizer? Do you know? Did you see?
No, this is just an industry move. This is like one of those I did see some news on a different one. It wasn't Pfizer. It was
NVAX.
NVAX, right? And then so it's just affecting all of them right now. And you can see this is why I always like to pay attention to industry-wide charts, right? Like the biotechs are just pushing right now. Drug manufacturers are just pushing right now. And so essentially, if you play the top names, right? Just the top, right? Let's say in drug manufacturing here, there's one in the red and there's like 3 or 4 in the green, right? Of the big names. Let's go to the big ones. Drug manufacturers of the big boys. Lilly's down, Johnson & Johnson's up, Merck down, AbbVie up, AZN up, MBS, Amgen, Bio. So it seems like the biotechs particularly are doing a little bit better. And that's you see your Pfizer, Bristol Myers up today. And so I like to always kind of catch on those little trends. You could see it early today, especially in biotechs.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm seeing
Pfizer.
some trades coming in the chat. Keep them coming. What you got, Tim?
I was just going to say Pfizer, too, had sort of a double hit because there's been news coming out just on the there's some issues with the some of the mRNA things, there's some, what is it, SV40 contamination issues or something that's been sort of in the background, and then they keep getting hit on oversight on their clinical trials, their testing, how adequate it was or wasn't, particularly but not limited to their COVID vax. And then right at the same time that Pfizer and Moderna are kind of getting scrutiny, you have Novavax coming in, right? So I think they were probably just, I mean, oversold. I mean, Pfizer's just been getting beat up. If you look at it over the past days and weeks, it was down quite a bit. So yeah, we got to zoom out even more here.
GME starting to come down.
It's
here.
Just been down. So this could be a relief bounce. It could be a bottom. Who knows? I am curious. So with Folk, right? They got, so Sanofi is strong off of it. Probably continues, but I think it's downside a little bit. But what do you see on this, Scott, with your tools there? Just what do you see from the market makers? Or Mitch, if you have an insight, but I'm kind of curious.
It's called Liquid Vision, man. Called Liquid Vision.
Liquid Vision. What do you see on Liquid Vision?
Liquid Vision.
On that post ER. And so do you find your Liquid Vision tool more or less useful like in situations like a post ER type situation? Like, do you see a difference in the accuracy, the performance in that regard, or does it pretty much not matter the scenario?
No, I don't. I do the same. Yeah, so the same for everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I just draw it the same. The only time it's not great is if there's a severe lack of volume, right? Which is why on a lot of these stocks I'm looking for insider ownership and institutional ownership to just make sure, which 90% of stocks do have institutional ownership anyway. But
BlackRock owns a little piece of everything, right?
Yeah, of course it does.
With
yeah,
index
absolutely.
funds and sector funds and everything.
Yeah, so I would have been playing the buy side off of this 7 level, and then I'd have been running it off that level up to kind of this level, which is where we've tapped into now 1, 2, 3
Can you show your
times.
Screen, or?
Oh, sorry, my man. Yep, there we go.
Wrong one. There you go. I got
yours. Thank you. Cheers. So the first level was over here off the just under 7s here, and then obviously that taps in again. On that one, this one then comes in and is the next one to play, which once, twice, 3 times and through. So that's now pretty done. It can bounce off here. It can still hold at $7.50 or $7, or what are we, just about 720s. But this can still hold on a wick through, but I see the liquidity has now used up. If it doesn't work now, that's kind of done. If I was looking to find, where this was going to stop from these levels back in April, I'd actually look for the session, but I'm taking a rough guess here that this is the session that came in with the volume. Yeah, so benchmark 2 sitting up there at benchmark 1 sitting up there at 970s, spikes to 10, comes back off to the liquidity pool. So yeah, it's in a buy zone at the moment, but it's used all the liquidity. So it's one of them where if it cracks, it could crack on volume.
Yep. So I'm going to enter with a small size, and then either if it starts running, maybe, but if I get a pullback, I'll add on to it, because that was kind of my read too. Like, I was sort of tempted to buy the dip there, but I am also short Sanofi and Pfizer, so that adds a thing. How's other retail doing? Let's see. So it looks like,
all right, guys, taking a short on NBAX here, guys, for reversal trade here off the top there. Saw the topping around the 12s. They didn't want to interrupt there. I'm sorry about that, guys. It would have been interrupting there 100%. But you see the top there, the wick there. So this is a rule of 3, just getting that rejection now. I can add to it towards that 1180. And it also wanted to bring in some of the talk that I wanted to talk today. So we're going to push the You Choose segment a little bit later today. I will be doing that trade for you guys. Keep dropping them in. But I wanted to talk about our main talk today, which is kind of like favorite indicators, things like that to use. So for me, a lot of the times for momentum trading, it's going to be this light blue line. This is the 9 moving average, the exponential moving average. What's the difference between an exponential moving average and a simple moving average? A lot of that is going to be determined on what it's going to be, the weighting of the recent price action. So simple doesn't weight the recent price action as important as an exponential does, right? So there's more weight in that. And you guys can see this is already a nice little decent win here. I'm looking for some profits towards the 11, and I think this could get back to the VWAP. This is a reversion trade back to the VWAP 1060s top shares. Let me go ahead and get ready to take some profits here towards the 11. So I just wanted to set up that, and I'll keep explaining on the 9 EMA, how I come after it. So a lot of times I'm looking for the 9 EMA to stay below if it's bullish and start to get above if it starts to break the momentum. So in this case, clear example, started to break the momentum, has been holding that 9 EMA on pullbacks, which can also be an area to look for buys, right? So here was that kind of pullback to the 9, light blue line, got bought. This one actually undercut here towards the VWAP and then reclaimed it. This is when you usually get those sweeps. But on breakouts, like right here on the 10, I look for the pullback to the 9 for those attempts to get that pullback buy. 9 EMA, pull back right back up. It starts to push up. I'm looking for the pullback to the 9. It comes to the 1160s, back up. Things like that. But then eventually we finally start getting a close below the 9 EMA, and that shows me the break of momentum. So some traders even taking profit on that. And another thing that this involves is the MACD. So you can see how the yellow line is the exponential moving average 9. And I also look for that to kind of confirm this price action. So a cut down below the 9 EMA and a break on the MACD. We'll see what happens there. And that was just one of my favorite indicators to use. So hope you guys take a look into exponential moving averages and using simples, especially close ones, for momentum.
Totally agree with that, Mitch. Love a bit of a close momentum EMAs myself.
Yeah, and EMAs help so much. Man, GME now down halts. It's all over the place today, guys. Be careful out there.
I've got a couple indicators I can share if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Tim. Let's talk a little bit about what's your favorite out there. What do you like to use?
Yeah, so I've got a couple. So the biggest one that I've found that I kind of like is looking for divergence, convergence or divergence between the RSI and the MFI. So most people know the RSI, relative strength indicator. Not quite as many know about MFI, and what that basically is an RSI that takes the volume into account. So the idea is it shows money flowing in or out of a particular thing. And I keep trying to look up the math and forgetting it, so I need to look that up again. But people also probably use things like check-in money flow or whatever. But I like these because it's one taking that into account, one not. And a lot of times you can sort of see, okay, hey, I've got different, right here when they're on the opposite side like this. This tells me that it could be, I don't usually see such a strong move on the MFI here, but at a certain point you could see that kind of reverse. So if they're moving together, then that tells me something different than if they're apart, which indicates to me usually that it's more of a technical move that could end up reversing in the other direction. And so you'll see that when you get these little, where's a better example like this? So this is off news and it's kind of an exceptional thing, but just during ordinary trading, you see right here. So you see it's moving up, moving up, moving up. And then you've got the money flow up here and RSI down here. And when they both kind of hit that, then you're like, okay, it's going to come for a reversal, but it's more of a technical relief reversal than it is anything fundamental necessarily. And then I also like the MACD and the awesome oscillator AO. And so what that shows is the that just gives you a real clear change of direction. And then these are the stochastic RSI, but I have that there because it's sometimes you can see that like right up here again. This is sort of up here, like stuck up here over the extension area, and gives you an idea it might come back in. The other thing I like to do is, and you've seen my Trader Evolution setup where I have, for Trade the Pool, I have these two areas with different sizes, one with HA, one with 3-minute time candles. And then I'll do that over here where I'll have, 1 minute Heikin Ashi candles, 3-minute regular candles, Then I have a Renko over here to give me an idea. And that gives me, it doesn't show me with regard to time, but like I can see here, right? Like I'm ready to flip long if I need to on Santa Fe, because look at the historical. Here's this area right here. So could get up to here, and then from there, you know, all the way back up into the 50s. So but the big thing is just the convergence, you know, looking for moments where you get convergence between the indicators, or seeing those are a little different. When I'm disciplined, I look at all the indicators and then I see if they're moving in tandem or not.
All right, looking around, trying to see what happens here, seeing if the market's going to come back. So watching that, keeping an eye on that, and then NBAX, will it come right back down here? You go focus on NBAX now. Didn't get my first profit take there, so want this to get back down to 11, but definitely don't want to risk too much on it.
Retail seems still, so Target continuing to head back down, Walmart showing some weakness, Dollar Tree is interesting because it's holding better, but that looks like a better bear flag formation showing up.
Big level to watch on this 12 break.
What do you guys think about that Dollar Tree versus like either Walmart or Target?
I think one thing to keep an eye on, I think Target is going to eventually start working its way back at some point. I mean, I don't think Target's going anywhere soon, right, guys? So I think at some point you start to see a change in that. I know Costco was really hot. So usually that's the leader, the first move, the momentum player. And then they start to try to focus on that. Been seeing defensives pretty strong. I think Walmart's been just slowly, steadily riding higher. So these are names that I'm definitely keeping an eye on.
Well, this is nice. This could actually be a nice little undercut here on Costco, to be honest.
All right, so here's an important level here. If I want to take an attempt, I did see some buyers step up at the 82s. There was some good volume there. So NBAX, there is some buyers stepping up here. So I just got to watch to see if I get one more rejection from this 12 move. If that happens, then I can hammer down. If not, above that, I got to start getting out.
So that's interesting. You usually see Costco as the like the sector leader for retail in general?
So I look at it for discount stores. So I have this index. So this, a lot of times I go off of these indexes, right? These are equally weighted. So like I'll look in defensive. Okay, so it's strong. What is in defensive strong? Look at the discount store chart. You see how this had a nice little breakout to the upside. This is the index overall, and it includes Walmart, Costco, Target, DG, Dollar Tree, BJ's, Ollie's, those types of names. So that tells me a lot of times these are the laggards of the few, right? Like Target, DG, Dollar Tree, leaders. Now,
is that just because of margins? Because it feels like, for example, Costco and Dollar Tree, or especially Dollar General, are in such different categories. Or is it just the fact they're maybe tighter margins than other stores?
Yeah, what they try to do is they consider these discount stores like wholesalers go into this space. Your kind of like your bigger superstores, so we'll go into this space. Like Ollie's is definitely falls under there. Big Lots, Big Lots is just has like everything in there, right? You don't go in there just for one type of product. It has everything. So they put them all under that category. And Walmart,
you have 5 below in that list?
No, 5 actually falls. 5 falls in specialty retail. So I also look at specialty retail as an area that I would watch. So if they're doing well, I'd look into specialty retail. But so you can see here, specialty retail has been doing well. That's kind of more of your Amazon, your Baba, your Melly, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, stocks like that. So I separate those two, and I can't blame people for separating those. All right, going to you. What you seeing out there, Scott and Tim? Anything good?
Just keeping an eye on LIDR at the moment. See,
LIDR.
looking a bit toppy.
NVAX ripping off there above 12 now, guys. Got to go ahead and get out of this position. Just trying to let it come back a little bit. I'll get out.
I am still beating my head against AMC, but that's probably a little bit less now. Just add it on a little bit. You mentioned tobacco real quick, and that reminded me I had meant to look at PM and BTI today.
Yeah, PM. I think it was on the radar this morning, tobacco.
Yeah, and Philip Morris, so they do the Zyn pouches, really popular apparently.
Yeah, they are.
And apparently those they're having distribution problems. They had a fire in a warehouse last week, so from what I hear, they're sold out in a bunch of locations. It's going to be more, so they're trying to bring more. This is what some friends were telling me, but from what I hear, they're trying to bring two more warehouses or manufacturing facilities. Not sure which online. But that's not there yet. So come on, load back up.
Just took a hit there in NVAX, man. It's not been a day for me, guys. My focus not here today, and definitely paying the price for it today. So down like at 187 today. So
and definitely that's okay, because your mind, your body has rhythms just like the market too. And I think what you said, I was watching earlier. I was prepping my lists, and as long as you're aware of it, that's so key. Like, especially if you're on an eval program where, I mean, eventually you'll run out of capital no matter what, but especially if you're on an eval where you're timed or you're trying to work within a much tighter risk margin, you just, if you're aware of it and you just take a step back and just go smaller, go for the more consistent things, don't go for the home runs,
Yeah, no, that's definitely
the next day come back strong, or the next week, whatever it is.
Yeah, I decided to size up today, and that's how it usually goes, right? The day you size up is the day you run into the problems, right? So that's just how it goes, guys. And so it's about balancing out, not being too upset about what's going on today, and just focusing on my risk to return, right? GME with a nice little bottoming there, and what comes into play here is an exponential 200. So that 28 spot seems interesting for me on GME, guys. You're looking at BTI there, I see.
Yeah. Just again in the tobacco space, and this is just looks like it's still pushing. So I'm not sure what's up there. What's the other one? We got MO. No, it's what's the other? That is Altria. Yeah, interesting. So I feel like this could be a spot. PM versus MO or something. I don't know. Might do that. PM versus MO. I'll do that in my. And now with our new setup without the 30, without the auto stop in there, I can actually just, as long as those don't diverge too much against me, I can just leave both those on and just sort of hedge each other. So makes it a lot more comfortable.
All right, we'll see what happens on GME here, guys. Now pulling back towards that 28 area. Can it hold that 28 area and start to get a lift off of here? We'll see. Pulled back significantly.
I had this Renko chart here on GME, and this was kind of the area that I had as the. Let's see if I can zoom in without. Yeah, like right here, I had this, and I'm not. Yeah, so I drew this line previously across the top of these here, and you can see it tried pushing above a couple times, just came back down, and now just like it finally broke out of this down channel, shoop, right back up, and now it's testing that. So I mean, obviously it could reclaim it and push past it, but and what we had right here is not, I don't know when I drew these, but we also had came down to this 272, I guess 272, and then up here. So whatever range this was when I drew it, let me zoom out. Yeah, that was guess that was on this portion from here to here. So then we have like a little extension to the down, you know, and then it gave this up, then further extension to the downside. So I don't know. It's still sort of a moment of truth for it. It could go either way, but if it were to reverse, I was seeing it going up like, you know, 20s and stuff, and I was like, nope. I'll wait till at least here. So, but now I have no idea. I'm not actually touching it. I might.
All right, guys, in a second here, we're going to get into our recap time, guys. So definitely smash the like out there. It's been a tough day for me. I'll probably go first and lead, guys. But like always, smash the like. We're going to keep battling with you guys and showing both ways here, guys. We got over 91 of you guys together with us. So smash that like, hit the subscribe, and let your friends know. This is a trading community that will be supporting you, showing you guys the process approach, wins and losses, right? Well, unfortunately, no Lambos here. I haven't seen Tim doing burnouts and Lambos. So until then, we'll definitely be here battling with you guys. Roaring Kitty out there, definitely shaking things up today with GME. It was a crazy move, and a lot of those halts were a little bit fishy, but we won't get into all that action. Let me go ahead and share my screen here so I can show you guys exactly my trades on the day. Of course, this is the time where we do our recap time. All right, traders, let's take a look here. You guys see me down a little bit. I was up on the account, the EVA. I've been battling a little bit today, down a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Definitely stepped up to the plate. ACIU, not the best trade there, but let's go ahead. Let's take a look there. It was out the gates, looking for that to start to make it smooth. Back to the upside. That kind of hung in there, right? Now it's starting to work its way back. Maybe ACIU is an afternoon runner, right? Doesn't look like it's a bad play there off the threes. A lot of build up there, giving it time to come back. So we'll see what happens there on ACIU. Then we got AMC. I was able to take a nice little loss and win on AMC. So that's how it goes sometimes, guys. You can take a win. Win was here on that first kind of break, and then eventually it wiped me out on some downside, but coming back. So we'll see what happens there on AMC. And then NVAX and NVIDIA definitely costing me a little bit. But one thing that I like that I'm seeing on these losses, and I think one thing that we can take, always learning lessons, right, from our losses, right, is that they're all kind of the same losses, right? 57, 54, 46, 38. So I'm trying to keep it between kind of the $40 to $50 on the losses. And now wins should be up towards like 150, 3 times that amount, right? We'll see what happens if I can keep that consistency. That's what matters to me more. And sometimes you got to give yourself a pat on the back, even in the losing days, because you stuck to what? At least your risk, right? You didn't just fall off the wagon, didn't just completely just start throwing 1,000 shares here, 1,000 shares there, right? That's what matters. We got to be traders, and we also got to be able to take a hit. All right, coming to you guys. What do you guys want to talk about? Who's up for the recap?
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? So
yeah,
in the market.
That's for sure. You want to go, Tim?
Just a quick one for go on then.
Oh, you can go.
Yeah,
Scott.
I've only got the one CLDR here. Let's just have a quick look. Interval not applicable on CLDR. Just
there's something I didn't like the interval for that type of candle, I guess.
There we go. So we had 164, which would have been me coming out of a buy side pull down here. Actually, this one here, 164 coming out of here. It was targeting that 233, but it didn't look like it was going to do it at the time. We just missed it. So I covered it. I closed it. I'm too used to shorting. I closed it at 207. It did eventually run to the target. I did try and short it up there, and then I chickened out of it, even though there was something on there. But the better short, I think, was up here at 245. But I ended up 63. You know, I gave 10 cents back on that 70 cents move there. So, but that's all I'm on. Yeah, it was a little bit. I was trying to get in on a GME. I like it down here if it can hold up. I like it down here if it can hold up. If it can push out of here, get above the VWAP again, I might have a little go this afternoon. We'll see.
All right, keep battling out there, team. Let's go to Tim now.
And it's funny, I just took in my other challenge account, which is down a little bit. I just took a short on GME and realized I didn't realize quite how big these moves are today. I was used to my normal sizing on GME, so that is a lesson, and we'll see if I get blown out in a second. But other than that, I am green for the day so far, and it looks like I am actually slightly redeemed here finally because the Costco long went green for a second, but yeah, the target was my big one, and that has been playing out. We'll see if it manages to catch here. Everything else just kind of puttering around, not much big in either direction. So Target and Disney, if Disney keeps, let's see where Disney's at. This could be catching here, so I'll have to look at that. I mean, looks fair. I'll probably stick with this for a little while, but other than that, GameStop.
GameStop doesn't stop, man.
That's just there we go. All right, good call, Scott. I saw you were mentioning that you liked it right there, and yep, that was exactly that.
All right, traders, like always, keep battling. We're gonna be here battling with you guys. Like always, I saw some new faces in the chat today, some new streamers out there. Definitely hit the subscribe down below. Like always, we're gonna keep battling. We'll be back tomorrow and Wednesday. I'll be out, but Scott will be here taking over the show like always, giving you guys all these types of trades, liquidity pools. Don't miss out, like always, right here. Trade the pool, smash the like, guys. We'll see you next time, team.